carrying on with our next cube. It was a French cube. One thing to keep in mind when you're drawing these cubes too, though, is the fact that we're all drawing French cubes, so whatever you do here, you have to realize the Russians are going to get a lot of turns left. Options. Thinking about activating the Dragoons. This unit here, this and this, would be their first activation, so they get the full 7 movement points. I like seeing these square formation or square formated infantry. And I'd like to come down and crash on into them. Unfortunately, they got their fronts going on. They're good defensive facings. So we would have to survive an initial fire, and whoever survives crashes into them. They will get a chance to form a square, but in our advantage, they won't get to have much time. They got to meet a certain die roll, and we're already close, so that's to the French's advantage. Either way, we got to survive the withering fire. That's if we activate the Dragoons with this shit here. They're spent. They're done. They've not had 3 activations. They're exhausted. They're not going to do anything else. Can't really move any of these infantry that are already locked in. If you move them, you can. But as soon as you move away, these guys get a chance to have a fire at you. They're gonna shoot your ass while you're backing out, while your back's turned, or while you're doing what you got to do to get out of the way. That's besides drawing the red cube, so that's an automatic fire if you move. So they're pretty well locked in. Now over here, I wanted to make a little note. I had these units up on these hills. I thought this was a hill, but it's actually a low spot. I had this one here, down here, and this one here, right here, just to make an adjustment for being a dumbass and reading the map wrong. I moved them over here, thinking that if we did read the map right, I would have placed them over here. And it has nothing to do with the game. We're just moving them from here to here. But this is a nice little. We got 2 lines of artillery here, so if you come on through, here we're ready to, the Russians are ready to hammer you. So 2 lines of artillery. This one here's got a line of sight block, but if you get into the buildings here, try to come out, they're going to blast you. This little open range here, so that's the way we got them ready, deployed. So again, French artillery dismounted, and we got to move him. He's really not doing nothing. He might be able to get a shot over here. But that all comes with the fire cube being drawn. So, with all these boys being locked in, our only option is either bringing on the Dragoons, or activating the Dragoons, or bringing on the 3rd Division. Right here, 4th Corps, 10 units under the Grand. 3rd Division, 4th Corps. It would be coming on north of this way. Now I was thinking about this mostly infantry, throwing them in here, throwing out the balance. Now we could launch our Dragoons and keep that little reinforcement up our sleeve. Maybe drawing some units this way to draw units off of here, because I don't think he gets many reinforcements till 4 o'clock. And kind of drawing his attention this way with our Dragoon charge and wreaking havoc on his left flank, but he's still got these units here ready to go, so we're leaning towards bringing in the 3rd Division, 4th Corps, 10 units under the Grand. We'll be right back. There's the Grand. It's got a pretty nice size, or pretty strong strength points wise line infantry units. And he's also got some infantry. Ooh. What are those called? Chasseurs? Let me make sure I got that right. Chasseurs. So I guess there's a Chasseurs de Cheval, which means ones that are on horses. Just, 5th grade education, checking it out. So, and of course, they got the obligatory batteries of artillery. All right, let's set this on over. There they go, under the Grand. Now he will get his cube, and in this scenario, everyone's under attack, so we'll be right back. Alright, 3rd Division, 4th Corps will get their first activation. And that will mean they can move regular with no movement penalties. We must come on 10 hexes from this hex here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about here what this road is. Right here. Alright, we'll check that again. But anyway, he'll be coming on in. And I want him to go straight into Eylau or Eylau. So he can come anywhere within that, so might be as straight as we can go. We'll be right back. Alright then, there they are. You'll notice they're the ones that are still in column formation. Did not have enough movement points that are required to get next to the enemy. So besides it being a 1 movement point cost to get into clear terrain, it cost another to get next to the Russians. There are no zones of control in this game. But yeah, there you go. Now this leaves the French open to Russian attack. I don't see any cavalry really nearby. But either or, even if they come on up, somehow taking advantage of the French being in column. And the artillery is still limbered, so we didn't have enough to get there in this activation. So that'll be it for the blue cube drawn. The cubes in the bag favor the Russians. When we come back, we'll have another draw from the draw bag. We'll be right back. And quite a few hours later, we get a chance to get our draw on in. So let's go ahead and do that. A lot going on here at GWG land, but it'd be a quiet night, and we're gonna get some gaming in. Let's see what we got going on here. We still got a red cube in there, and it is. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. All right, well, I'm gonna go up and down the line. It is still only 3 o'clock, so no Russian reinforcements until the next hour. Check out the line. Check out what we want to do. Take advantage of the French blowing it all right away first, so we'll see what's up. Be right back. All right, we're gonna go with a little bit of botism here. We got a whole bunch of units moving up, but we're gonna find out if the Russians even know anything about that. You can see it's kind of a hill, so nobody really even know anything's going on unless these boys here. But even then, there's a hill, and they're just getting above it. So I'm gonna roll a dice, and on a 5 or 6. We'll be aware of what's going on here, and it'll have a big influence about who will be activated. But as a Russian commander, I'd be looking over here at my left flank and all my cavalry in the middle of it. So probably these boys here are the ones to be activated, but let's just go ahead and roll 5 or 6 and see if we can get some intelligence. All right, so we don't know nothing about what's going on here. It's going to be all about here. I'm going to activate. We'll put the cube on the, I don't want to pronounce his name, but it is the, Bagmount? I can't read that. There you go, Bill. Oh. Zoom feature. Bagavolt. The Bagavolt division. There you go. And another thing is, when we get into our next scenario, these attack markers will all be able to be changed, and that'll be a bunch of prerequisites on how you change them. But that's gonna be a big part of the game, and the whole level of victory and defeat has to go with these army morale cubes. So, but get into that. But like I said, I'm really enjoying this fast-paced, skipping those sequences of play in this game. So, it makes for a nice fast learning game, so they really did that right. But anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll be moving the Bagavolt Cavalry, see what they want to do. That's their first activation. This little boy here looks like he's been hit. Let's see here, his facing's fine. Yeah, he's only got 3 strike points instead of 4. So there you go. We'll see what we want to do with them. We'll be right back. Before we proceed, I want to make note of the old cavalry. Tired cavalry regiments are flipped to their fresh side at the end of their activation. So all these units here that we flipped over to our retired side because of their, and these boys haven't been activated yet. They were doing this as a result of reactions. So I need to flip these over to their untired side for their turn coming on up. And like I said, facing has a lot to do with it. You guys really can't see. We got to keep those facings along that intersection of each hex. Little pointy spot. What we got here? Now there's another one back here that was right here. So boy, here he's the one that retreated at the end of activation. They all get flipped over. He took a hit though. He's the one that got 6 strength points as opposed to 7. All right, we're all set to go. We're looking at all the instructions because we got some charges coming. We don't know what the deal is with reaction charges. I think if they're already there, there is no reaction charge. But if he would say, move out of this space here into this space, then he could reaction charge. So we got all kinds of like little advanced squad leader type of rules we got to look at. But in Sound of Drums defense, it ain't that bad on these rules. It makes it really easy. So I don't know how bad the first edition rules are. I guess if you're running the printer problems like I had in ink, you can go ahead with those original rules. I'm thinking I haven't looked at them that thorough, and I'm basing this whole game off of the 1.5 edition rules. So there you go. I think we answered our question on their fatigue, and now we got charging and reaction charges, reaction fire, and all kinds of stuff going on. We'll be right back. All right, we have looked over the legalese, and we're going to start like this. Ooh, now I wonder if they have these things differentiated. I do see this one. We'll call this the Polish B regiment. He's going to start out here, and these are Lancers. These are Polish Lancers. We have the French Lancers here. We don't have the Polish, so we'll have to get all of our collection complete. But anyway, let me see here. So he'll start. He's going to start with this facing. You can see he's facing this way. So pause it here. That's one free facing turn. Now the next 2 will be will cost movement points. So we'll take 2 movement points off that 8 of 6 when he's done moving. So pause. Alright, so to get his troopers all turned around there, costs 2 movement points. Like I said, he got 1 free. He was facing right here. Here's the freebie. 1 movement point, 2 movement points. 3, 4, and 5. So pause. Alright, I think that's 5. Let me check this out real quick and we'll be right back. Alright, I do believe this next one will be free. Hold on. And there you go. I'll check the rules, but I'm almost positive after you get done moving, you get 1 free turn. So there you go. The Poles have turned it on around, got those horses going this way, which took 2 movement points, which is, quite the maneuver, shall we say. Yeah, but it's all in clear terrain. So it was a freebie, 1 movement point, 2 movement points, 3, 4, 5. And we were looking this way. We pointed ourselves this way. Now that'll still qualify as a front hex in his rear. So there. And another thing is, well, I'll take this off real quick. Hold on. Facing being everything, we moved away from him, and we were able to go this way without hitting any of these 2 hexes. Hit these 2 hexes, and these boys get the reaction. So there you go. A lot of maneuvering going on with the cavalry. We'll be right back with our next movement, and we'll see how we want to move this unit here, which is the, is it a Liz or Easy? Eylau or whatever. The Eylau regiment. Be right back. All right, little make note of what I'm facing here. Here's my cavalry. Now, the only time we've seen these old boys before is when they got assaulted by the French. So this is our very first time of having the initiative. Everything else was just a reaction, and it didn't react bad. As a matter of fact, it did really good. Knocked the old, who are those things again? They are chasseurs? Huh. Yeah, knocked them all the way back here, so they didn't do bad, and they landed them with the casualties. So there you go. But anyway, the old general, well, we'll get to that. But right now we got grenadiers in our way. Kind of messing with our jive. Somehow we got to get ourselves some rear attacks or flank attacks. Don't want to be attacking any of these guys in the front. This spot here is a no-no. Now I'm thinking this old boy here can move around freely because he's already in both of their spots. We'll see what happens with that. It's not solid yet. We'll have to check that out with the rules, but so far what I've looked at will be all right. Now when he leaves one of these spots and goes into another one, like I said, from here to here I think he's good. From here to here I think he's good. But if he leaves from here to here, this old boy can react. So there you go. Also, here's another thing. Go down here. We're going to take this off again. Let's press pause. And here you go. He was flipped over onto his tired side, but after activations, you flip him back, so he get his, instead of 6 movement points, he gets his 8 back, which is no big deal. But you can look at this. The old Hussars want to attack the Hussars. They don't want to attack these old boys here with the greater die-roll modifier or strength points. Now you'll get a +2 die-roll modifier, or -2, I'm not sure what it is, whatever is more in favor, because you're right next to them. That's a big modifier when it comes to charging. They really, I guess, don't have a chance to react, but we press pause for a cough break. Alright, so that's what we're going on with here. We want to see if we want to maneuver out of here and do something with the, come around, maybe get another flank and let these boys do what they do. Now their general is over here. He's coming on with the infantry. There's the old boy there. Bag of out, I guess, if I'm pronouncing it right. But, oh, another thing I wanted to say something about that. I don't know if anybody's ever clicked on that link to that movie, Union of Salvation. That's a Russian movie. Oh, that is great. As a matter of fact, it culminates with the fight in, I guess it was Red Square. Well, maybe it was St. Petersburg back then. Maybe it wasn't Moscow. Maybe the capital was St. Petersburg. But anyway, it culminates with the officers' rebellion there, and it's a great cavalry charge onto a square. But then they bring in the artillery, and artillery against squares. Not too good. It's just a great movie all around. Another one I want to. These are foreign films, and they're war movies, and these are almost like my favorite movies of all. It beats any American war movie ever, in my opinion. Another one is 1864, about the second Schleswig, easy for me to say, war. Oh, it was great. That's a great movie. But anyway, let's get back to this. All right, that's enough of our war film critics. All right, so we got our Hussars. Oh, that 1864's got a scene with some Hussars in it. Oh, man, you got to watch that movie. It is great. I can't say, I mean, it is fantastic. All right, so anyway, we got the Hussars. I think they're going to stick with the Hussars. They're not going to turn around and go against the, I guess, I don't know what to make the Chasseurs even better. The Chasseurs Civil? Let's zoom in here. You don't want to go against these boys here, I guess. Huh. Is that what they are? Let me see here. Let's press pause. Yeah, Chasseurs et Cheval. So you don't want to go against them for some reason. Alright, let's get back here. Press pause. So anyway, that's what we got going on with, and also with this next activation, like I was saying, we got the general himself. He's back here lagging behind. Now he can move 12. And is this more infantry? No, it's different. Yeah, it might be. This might be his infantry here too. Let me see the color. It's all color coded. Oh yeah, we got a whole bunch to move, and these boys are in column still. So, yeah, welcome to the party. What's going on here? Your main, your main men are down here though, on the left flanks. We might have to bring some infantry on down this valley, get some solidified positions just as backup. I don't know what their movement is there. 5, not too bad. We'll see. There'll be a nice little hole here. Well, we'll check it out. We'll be back. Another note to be made with our little rear attack here is that the defender gets a free 60-degree movement, so he can move here are here for free, so you can't move. You can't move all the way around them, which is good. So there you go. So yeah, you got to keep an eye out here. We had him move this way, and what this was his frontal facing. That means he can move into any one of these hexes. So while he was still facing this way, he could still move this. So we went down here. These are one of his options, and he went here and did all this moving around. But we just wanted to make note that when charged, you can pivot one pivot point per assault. Be back. All right. So the Eylau Bagavolt Hussar battalion, or no, regiment, my mistake. We'll do this. Alright, so that will be, we were facing this way. Our freebie, so that's one movement point right there. We have 9. We're not going to take any more. Yeah, that's right. We're going to go ahead and just pivot back around, showing our ass to our to the French. But there, he's spent. He's got no more activations this hour. So we're going to go this way because we got a little general in this. And then we got old Joseph himself in here, so we're going to go ahead and assault. Even though he probably gets a modifier, we get a good modifier for being in one spot and being adjacent. So we'll take that. He was facing this way. Freebie, one movement point. Well, to be honest with you, he needs to look more like this. There you go. Try to get that straightened up there. He's facing this way. There you go. That'll be his movement. Now we'll bring these boys on in for the coup de grace. We'll see how far they can go. 9 movement points, pretty far. We'll be right back. All right, I want to make a little correction on his movement. We'll go back. He was looking this way. This was his freebie pivot, and he's got 8 movement points. 1 movement point, 2 movement points. He can go either way on this one. 3 movement points. Now to move here costs 2 movement points to move adjacent to another unit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it still gets us there with 8, 6. Then we did ourselves a free facing this way, so he's in front of us. Any of these two count as front, so I got there with 6. But this here, when I enter next adjacent to another unit, costs me 2 movement points. Got to keep that in mind. We'll be right back. It won't cost. We'll go back to this one now. You can go ahead and do this little different facing. So we were facing this way. That's freebie. And this way here will be 1. And we had 8 left over. All right, we'll go on with these regiments here. Start with this one. We'll be right back. All right, let's do this one together. First, a free pivot. And then 2 movement points to get adjacent to this next unit. So that next hex is going to cost us 2 movement points instead of 1. Now our next one will cost another 2 because we'll move adjacent to this one. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. We got 5 left. We're going to do it like this. We're going to move. We're already adjacent. All right, there you go. And then we're going to give us our 1 free pivot, and then another movement point pivot. And that'll be our final spot. So that was we were looking this way. No, we were looking this way. Free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we had us 1 free one. Either way, we still got our 9. So there you go. That's what it looks like. He'll be getting attacked from a front and a rear, and going on this way. We got these 2 to do, and then our infantry. We'll be right back. All right. This is it when the smoke clears. Now I did want to get these obstructed hexes are killing me. I would have had to have moved in front of him, provoking or triggering a reaction charge, and that would have got him out of getting ass fucked. So we're not going to do that. I wanted to get somebody over here because you can see we're kind of showing our asses to the French over here. Them are some strong units. The only reason we're not really worried about it is because they have had 3 activations already, so they're good until the next hour. And we might even have a chance to move. These old boys are. This is first activation, so they can reform and regroup. Excuse me. Didn't hit the cough button. All right, so there you go. That is the way we look now. This old boy here, I think, took 7 movement points to get there. So he got there with just 1 movement point to spare. But old Joseph, I don't think he's going to be long for this world. We've seen a leader. He was out in the open, and they were looking. We smell blood. We're pounding like sharks. Now you can see the facing for everybody. He's getting attacked from all sides. This little boy here is getting off easy. He's only getting attacked from the rear, but there'll be modifiers, so that'll be a good little attack with all the modifiers. See what happens. These little boys will have to check it out. Just watch. Now we do have our infantry back here to move, so that'll be next. All part of the Bag of Volt division. We'll be back. All right, a further inspection of old Bag of Volt's troops. There's part of his division back here. That's all of his artillery. I'm seeing here now that I must have used Bag of Volt as like a second line of defense with his cavalry, anchoring the far left. Now they're doing what they're supposed to do because now they can react to the initial French onslaught. So I want to say that these boys here got it handled, and I want to start bringing these units down into this valley. Just solidify everything. We can always pull them back if we get any holes punched in. So I think pulling Vagavolt's forces out. We have 1 line of, these are all artillery here. Like I said, I had a double line of artillery. We're not going to need that. We're pulling these boys up here. I like to line this artillery up here on this hill. Come on down this way. So we're going to bring the infantry down. We're going to make us a line behind this little cavalry skirmish. We'll see how far we can get. We'll be back with Vagavolt's divisional moves. Be right back.